Henry Hyundai has taken a battering. The road from Okaquio past Dolomite to the Golden Gate. Help my bob.
It was a bit bumpy, to say the least, in certain parts. But an enjoyable trip from Etosha, from Okaquio.
Dolomite Camp, just before it we saw 4 lionesses, pretty bad tempered one as well. They're really cute and cuddly when they're lying under a tree licking themselves, but you see when they get up and walk towards the car,
not so much.
Not so cute. Sorry about the tourists. Then we stopped at this place called Hoanib Camp, and it had this huge viewing height to watch elephants from, which would have been good if there had been any elephants there. And we actually kind of stopped in to ask if we were on the right road. It was only one, but just to make sure we were going in the right direction. And this guy that worked there just said, where are you going? So we said, well, it's the Dolomite Camp, that's why we need to know we're on the right road. And he just went, any chance of a lift? So he works at both camps, Hoanib and Dolomite. So we said, yeah, we'll give you a lift. So he got in the car with his bag of stuff and started to give us directions, tell us how many kilometres it was and all this kind of thing. And then suddenly he goes, just go down there. So we didn't know he was going to take us to waterholes. But he did. And he took us down to this one waterhole and he said, oh, there's an elephant coming. And right enough, just out of the bush was an elephant about 500-600 metres away, walking towards the waterhole. Right, so he took us to this waterhole and an elephant was coming from quite a distance away. So we sat and waited for it, and just brilliant.
Came up to the waterhole, dipped its trunk in the water, scooped up some water and just started spraying itself, cooling itself down. Meanwhile, the 4 or 5 vultures that had already been at the waterhole skedaddled and hung in the background. Apparently they only appear when a cheetah or a leopard has made a kill. They're normally hanging about, but we didn't see a cheetah or a leopard.
Or anything dead.
No. But at the previous waterhole we did see loads, really loads of zebra, wildebeest and oryx, and then Jerry the giraffe appeared.
They're all called Jerry, by the way. I've tried to name some Gregory, but no, they're all Jerry.
Jerry the giraffe came out of the bush and started to walk towards us, but was really wary, and we thought it was the car. But I think now, on hindsight, after we started to leave the waterhole, we did notice the 4 lionesses at the entrance lying under a tree. So maybe it was that he was getting a bit jumpy about. But it was a really good drive to the Dolomite Camp.
And the Dolomite Camp was really nice.
Yeah.
Wish we'd stayed there longer, but hey.
Talking of dinner, we had dinner at 7 o'clock. We started, it was a slightly set menu, but we opted, it was a starter of vegetable salad, which was quite nice, very vinegary. Then we had the choice of springbok, fillet steak, or what was the other one? What was the third option?
What did you say? Springbok?
Fillet steak, pork chop.
Pork chop.
Either with fusilli pasta or boiled potatoes and vegetables, and we opted for, both of us, springbok and boiled potatoes and vegetables. And then
dessert, we will now ask Jacqueline for the Namibian name of the dessert.
malva pudding
Whoa.
with a caramel sauce.
Sponge and custard to me.
Yes, it was, but it was very tasty actually. Springbok was lovely, really tender. Vegetables, squash with boiled potatoes.
By the way, we're just sitting on the main road to Kamanjab here. It's actually tarmac. There's not a lot of tarmac roads in Namibia, but this is obviously quite a busy one. So, just thought I'd let you know. Right, well, we call it a day just now. We're on our way to Doro Nawas. We'll hopefully catch up with you then. I have to stretch for that. It's better. Welcome to Doro Nawas. This is take one of day something or other. We'll explain that all in a minute. As you'll see, directed today by Jerry Giraffe. Here we are at Doro Nawas Camp in Damaraland, Namibia.
And we are in chalet 11.
Now, when we arrived in the chalet, it's nice and spacious. We were given instructions. There's no phone, there's no Wi-Fi, there is electricity. There's hot water heated by a solar panel thing. And we were given 3 canisters. And the first canister is simply mosquito repellent, which is a fairly natural thing to get. There isn't a mosquito net as such, so I think you just you sit and wait and ambush the mosquitoes when you see them. So that's quite handy. Haven't had to use it though. The second item we were given was an insect spray. Doom insect spray. What happens when you spray this at insects? I don't know, but we haven't had to do that either. So Doom insect spray is the other one. Now, let me introduce the third canister. We remember getting a similar type of thing at Onguma when we were here in 2013. Jacqueline will now show you the third canister we got, somewhat bigger than the last time. Would you like to inform us?
I should say that when we arrived here, as we did when we arrived at the Dolomite camp, you have to sign an indemnity to say that you're living here at your own risk. Now behind us we have an open plain where many animals, we've already seen 3 ostrich or 4 ostrich this morning, roam wildly, and we have this little bit of string protecting us.
From lions.
You would think that's not going to save us, but that's going to save us. I will twirl it round so you can see the full extent
Of our emergency horn.
of our emergency horn, which, if we get into difficulties, as we just about did first thing this morning at breakfast, when a flying tea bag.
It wasn't exactly a flying tea bag.
It was a flying tea bag label. Just about to cause Neil to poop his pants. Just as well we didn't have this with us, because I think the whole world would have come.
Unfortunately, we can't set it off for you, otherwise,
Yes,
well, we
would
don't
have.
know what happens. We don't know how loud it is, but
We don't want to find out.
so let's hope we don't have to use the emergency horn.
Last night,
Yes, dinner last night.
we got told when we arrived at reception that on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday they have, it's a barbecue night. So we were to arrive up to reception for 7:30. So we went up around about 7 o'clock, had a drink, they presented us with a plate with some dried mango, olives, homemade popcorn and
Biltong.
biltong. So we had a drink, spoke to what was his name? The guide, and he said we were to we would be having our barbecue over that direction somewhere, and we could either walk there or go in the vehicle. And we were to meet at 7:45. So we met at 7:45 with a Dutch, Dutch couple, and a family of there was 4 of them, Namibians, and we got into the vehicle and proceeded to go round the back of the camp to an area that was all screened off. And when we got there, what a sight. It was just...
Lots of little lanterns around, wee fires in sort of metal fire pit things, a table laid out.
with wine glasses and... Oh, it was just lovely. And the staff were all standing waiting on us, with the burners going, the bray was going.
Yeah. All it lacked was your dad with a peony on. Oh, stop. Anyway, it was too dark really to take photographs and get the atmosphere. But the 8 of us that were getting served were,
A bit overwhelmed by it all.
because there was only the 8 of us. And actually the 4 Namibians, the guy actually works for the company that has this camp. He does the IT side, so he was here working kind of thing with his family.
But we all went to take a seat, only to find that on our seat was a hot water bottle to heat our bottoms. And they had rugs back that you could pull over to keep you warm. It was lovely.
What's that?
Don't do that.
Right. Right, we'll finish up just now. We're flying in a couple of hours to Hoanib.
And the landing strip is just at the back of us.
So,
Doesn't look like it, but it is. It's there. We've seen it.
so we'll give you an update when we get there.
Yay. ensure our safety. We have the obligatory Doom insect spray, emergency horn and mosquito repellent. We're safe. We'll sleep well tonight.
Good afternoon. It's still the 17th. This is take 3, by the way. What a tie. Right. It's still the 17th. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and we've just had lunch and are resting in our chalet tent thing at Hoanib Skeleton Coast Camp, run by Wilderness Safaris.
We had a 45-minute flight in a little Cessna, maybe about 10-seater, 12-seater.
10-seater.
5 of us on it. Great. So lots of scenery.
Well, lots of nothing.
Yeah, but
We're just in the middle of nowhere. The flight took 45 minutes to fly from Doro Nawas. For them to actually get food and supplies in here by vehicle, it's a 2-day trip from Windhoek to here, and then they've still got to drive back for 2 days. And apparently the drivers can still get lost on the way in.
Room is spectacular. View is even better. And we're just enjoying it after having a 3-course lunch.
Well, we were enjoying it until the guide said to Jacqueline, it's a 5:30 wake up call tomorrow to go looking for desert